What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy the D here, aka the Captain of the Thunder God Pirates, and it's Sunday, and you know what it is. Shit's happening. That's the only way I can describe it. A titanic shift has occurred in the One Piece universe. The force has been disturbed, if you know what I mean. But enough rambling on, and yet again, thank you so much for listening. If you liked what you heard, you know do YouTube things. But let's go ahead and get into it. One Piece, chapter 1039, top billing. So immediately we cut to above Wano, which, yet again, I kind of still want to know what the fuck's going on with Zoro. Yeah, scythe, cloaked figure, potentially the spirit of death, you know, shit like that. But yet again, apparently Onigashima being pulled is more important. But no, seriously. So Momo's pulling it, and it looks like he pretty much tied his own flame clouds around the mountain, and he's acting like a horse with reins and pulling it backwards. But as he's pulling it backwards, he says that he hears something. Something is calling to him. I don't know if it's his sister or if it's just the voice of all things, which I think it might be Zunisha. Remember, Zunisha is very close to Wano. And the range, we don't know the range of the voice of all things. We heard it when he was initially on Zoe. Remember, he was on top of Zunisha's back, so of course you're gonna hear Zunisha. But I remember back in Skypiea how Enno's power, his observation haki, allowed him to hear the entirety of that particular sky country. So it can only be like speculated that, yeah, Momo, even though his powers aren't fully mastered or awakened, he's hearing them. So then we go back inside the performance floor where Eustace has knocked Big Mom straight off her feet. So the beasts who are onlooking, they're like, wait a minute, no, is she down for the count? No, not to them. Which is kind of meta because a lot of people don't want them to be able to beat Big Mom. Which I'm like, look, it's time, bruh. They've ruled the sea for decades. It's time. Although, I'm not gonna lie, out of all the supernovas, Kid's my favorite, and I wish he was doing this on his own, but you know, can't get what you want. So then we see the Heart Pirates and the Kid Pirates both cheering on their captain. The Big Mom is actually looking kind of fucked up. Like, she is looking fucked up. So in Eustace, you know, he's riding the cardio or Corradillo, however it's pronounced. And he's like, okay, she's got to be hurting. And then Law pops in using room right behind Kid and tells Eustace it's time for round 2. And so then Law, like, bro, this whole thing about top billing, who's doing the most damage, who's really doing it here. He even goes on to say, like, look, you just had to use your big fancy attack right after mine to make it look like you actually did something. And then Law goes on to say that he's not his opening act. And then Kid, funny enough, wait a minute. If Kid's not a D, this gives whole new meaning to the D's recklessness. Because yet again, at this time, right now, Law is normally the level-headed one with Kid being reckless, but here it's reversed, with Law being more concerned with who's got top billing, who's really doing the damage here. And Eustace is like, look, bruh, this is not what we really need to be focused on right now. And then Law goes on state, like, look, if you really think that, then go first next time. Put a real big hurt, and then I can finish the job. And then Eustace snaps back, like, hey, don't tell me what to do. The ultimate attack I've got in my sleeve is the one that will end that old hag. So then Law's like, oh, okay, so what comes after the bull? An elephant? An hippo? And then Eustace is like, shut up, man. I'm not telling you what my attack is. So then the beasts, yet again being the peanut gallery in this instance, they're like, hey, look at Big Mom's arm. And then we see her arm. It's hanging. Like, her right forearm is broken. It's snapped. Like, it's like, bro, that shit is leaning. And so then she comments, A shockwave from the inside. Feels like I cracked some ribs too. So they're doing damage. Like, she's even admitting, like, y'all are fucking me up. Gotta watch out for Trafalgar's moves. They're dangerous. And then she uses her soul fruit, which looks like it might be her, not her soul focus, but she starts putting souls into her very bones to get them to mend. Here, I'll give you life. Come back to me, bones. And then from inside her body, you can hear, yes, mama. And then she laughs, mama, mama, ha, ha, ha. So then Law and Kid still going back and forth. Law's like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. No jokes. The next round's going to be the last one for me. I won't have any strength left after the next attack, but I guarantee you it won't miss. So I need you to... But then Kid comes in. Don't give me orders. I just told you, don't give me orders. So then Big Mom calls out Prometheus, Napoleon, Hera. Here we go. All of them in unison. Yes, mama. Mazer Saber. And she cuts Eustace's attack in half horizontally. And Eustace just snaps back like, that's nothing. This was just scrap metal to begin with. And then she goes, ha, you're nothing. The time for dreaming is over. Listen, you brats. We've sunk hundreds of people just like you into the sea. We've been reigning as emperors for decades, since the days before you were weaned off your mother's milk. So then he uses his awakening again to assign Big Mom's head a south and the wall behind her the North Pole, which attracts, and remember, magnetism, opposites attract. Love that power. So then, she tries to get up, but she can't. And then Eustace pulls the top half of his attack back together and slams into Big Mom once again. Well, he tries to, but she stands up, turns around. Now remember, the entire structure behind her is assigned to her head. Like, it's stuck there. It's up and it's stuck there, okay? But she lifts it up, turns around so that the bull makes contact with the broken structure itself rather than her. So even everybody's like, bruh, she stood up with that whole motherfucking tower. And even the user's like, bruh, are you fucking kidding me? That's ridiculous. So then she stands up and she says, why would you put all this extra weight on my back? Mother's visit canon. And then she goes on to stay her attack using Hera, 3,000 leagues. Well, what looks like Hera of misery. Also, so this attack starts, not only does it make contact, but it keeps moving at like it makes the form of a woman who attacks, but even after that, it keeps going. So it looks like it might not just be a soul, like not just be an attack, a soul rather. And it kind of is reminiscent of Mother Caramel. It's funny that attacking her visage would be the soul of misery, visage of misery, excuse me. So she then tells the attack to keep going, and yet again calls it misery. So Law uses his tact to pick up a whole structure, which kind of looks like a wedding cake, and drops it on her fucking head. So then Law jumps to the air, still huffing and puffing, his sword glowing. And he teleports over to Big Mom. And she's like, oh my God, not you again, Trafalgar. We then cut and his sword extends into the underground armor where Yamato is. Past that, to Onigashima, above Wano. Hits the ground. Past that, it keeps penetrating. So that as he's doing this, Big Mom is beating him. And then he keeps saying, not yet, not yet, not yet, with his sword extending, drilling deeper into the ground. And he's even saying, it has to go deeper. It has to go deeper. And then again, while he's on her chest, putting this thing through her, it's still going deeper, and she's beating on him. With even his crew telling him like, yo, Cap, you gotta stop or you'll die. And then, bloodied, he says, puncture. No, you don't, Willie, or Wild. And finally, lets a shockwave ring, and that shit puts a fucking hole. Like it puts a massive impact crater in the ground below. but it can be thought that he put that whole shockwave through her body. And even Momonosuke outside looks down, like as he's dragging Onigashima, he's like, where did that giant hole come from? And like I said, even Yamato in the armory below him can see this hole. Like Trafalgar just hit her with the motherfucking biscuit. But Big Mom isn't down just yet, and even Misery comes. And she orders Misery to burn him to death. To which Trafalgar, he calls out to Eustace, telling him to go ahead. And Eustace, with a giant fucking rail gun made out of scrap metal, even tells him, how many times do I have to tell you, Trafalgar? You don't give me orders. And Big Mom, staring this rail gun down, is like, you rats. And then she calls out, give me all you've got. You think you can beat me? I'm Big Mom. And Eustace says with a smile on his face, that's why we're getting rid of you. His attack. Damn punk. And it's looking like Big Mom. Her eyes go white and she is blasted back. To which Trafalgar replies, your era is over. Chapter end. And pretty dope fucking chapter. Now, okay, let me just address something real quick if you've gotten this far. I know I see some people like, oh no, Trafalgar's doing more. Oh no, Eustace is doing more. Like it's the same stupid shit with this Zoro and Sanji shit. Like, they both have been doing something. Like, with the Zoro and Sanji shit, they're both dope characters. I like Zoro more, but Sanji still is that nigga when he needs to be. And same here. I like Eustace way more than I like Law. But neither, as much as I hate to say it, neither one of them would have been able to take her down by themselves. It is only through the combination of their skills and efforts that they've been able to actually do this. So that whole, like, I can't remember who it was, but they had a poll like, who's doing more? Like, dog, you're missing the point. You're missing the forest for the trees at this point. They needed each other to take her down. They needed Eustace to be able to do big damage, and they needed Law to be able to penetrate her defenses and weaken her. So, yeah, it took both of them. Please stop the stupid stuff. If you don't get it, just say you don't get it and stay out of the discourse. But anyway, that's gonna be it. Still wonder what happened to fucking Zoro. Zanisha's getting closer, and Big Mom might be down for the count. I'm really hoping. Although I really wanted her to be her own arc, well, besides Whole Cake Island. But hey, shit happens. One Piece is good, it's gearing up, and we're getting closer to that climax of Wano. But thank you so much for listening to me. If you enjoyed what you've heard, which I hope you have, definitely consider hitting the like, commenting, tell me what you think about the chapter, and subscribing to my channel if you want to see more of my content. But without further ado, this has been your boy, The D, signing out. See ya.